Hello everybody, my name is Martin. This is Millionaire Autobahn, how to become a millionaire in 2 years. Welcome to my channel. So today actually I'm not really talking about how to become a millionaire in 2 years. I'm talking about a billionaire. His name is Warren Buffett. We all know about him. He is about 100 billion worth. His company Berkshire Hathaway and many others he owns and he manages are worth much more money than that. The other day I actually saw a video on YouTube. I will have the link in the description below about that video. And he actually is interviewed a couple of times during that video about Bitcoin. So first I wanted to say that he is pretty much the best and most known investor out there. He has been doing this for many years. And he has pretty much the most knowledge I can think of any investor. However, I do not really agree with his stance on Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. While Bitcoin is the granddaddy of crypto, and it also has quite some limitations, like his power consumption for all the transactions it's doing, for calculating new coins and so on, it needs more and more power. And I talked about this like 2-3 videos back. Also the speed of how those transactions are being performed is not really up to date. However, Bitcoin revolutionized the online digital currency world. When it all started with the blockchain that is incorporated into Bitcoin, more and more blockchains started to come out. The Binance blockchain, Ethereum blockchain, Polkadot, the Avalanche blockchain, and many more. All those blockchains mainly appeared because Bitcoin is too slow, it needs too much power. Then some others like Ethereum are too expensive, also might not be as fast. So that's why more and more blockchains are coming up for different purposes. Which is good, because they bring us so many new things, like NFTs, payments in the virtual world, the metaverse, and so on. But you might ask, why would we use them in the first place? I personally think it's because, first of all, there are no borders. And coming back to the video from Mr. Warren Buffett, he actually says, well, the biggest advantage of Bitcoin is that thieves and so on can easily transfer money without using suitcases any longer from one country to another. That's not what I mean with no borders. What I mean is that people from all over the world can invest in something that's across the planet. So somebody from Argentina can invest in something in Australia. Somebody from Japan can invest in something in the United States and vice versa. It's very straightforward, it's very simple. There's not much needed to actually get started with. And you don't really need a lot of money. Like when you want to go and invest in the stock market, starting with $100 or so, it's kind of pretty much a moot point. You would have to reinvest every month in order to really make it grow over the next 10, 20, 30 years. In cryptocurrencies, you might be able to actually just invest $100 and maybe in 5 years, that particular project you invested in, this $100 might be worth 10,000. This would not be possible in the regular world. So how is this possible? As I said in a previous video of mine, the thing is that in the regular world with regular money, the banks are taking all the fees. They're charging all the fees, they're taking the fees, they have fancy buildings. In whatever city in this world you go, the banks have the biggest skyscrapers, the nicest buildings. They have hundreds of thousands of employees. They have a lot of overhead. In the crypto world, however, there is no overhead. It's just code. Somebody created the code, somebody started with this smart contract, and it's just running. It doesn't need anything. So, with that said, the good thing about cryptocurrencies is nobody can tell you what to do and what not to do. As an example, you have a not so good credit score and you want to buy a car. You go to your local bank, the bank tells you, well, you know, I'm sorry, but we got to charge you about 20% APR for this car loan. And you're like, ooh, holy moly. But that's what it is. In cryptocurrency, there is no credit score. You just go online, you invest in something you like, and maybe, as said, in a couple of years, you actually can have enough money to buy the car straight out. Nobody tells you, no, you cannot do that. You can do whatever you want to do. So why do I not agree with Warren Buffett? First of all, he says cryptocurrency is not producing anything. While that is true, but Bitcoin, as an example, is like money. Money doesn't produce anything. Or have you ever put $100 in your wallet and an hour later it's 120? It never happened to me, so it's essentially the same thing. So then you could argue and say, well, but money is not, you know, becoming more or more valuable just because, which is also not true. It can be more valuable or it can lose value. It can lose value by inflation, can be more valuable because maybe another country thinks that the economy of country A is very good, so they buy currency and then that value of that currency goes up. It's pretty much like the Forex exchange, where you can exchange different currencies around the world. And the same thing happens with cryptocurrency. It's just that some people believe in this currency maybe more than in the other because there are more interesting projects on this or the other. And so that's where you actually see those prices going up and down. It's the same thing as in the real world. So then Warren Buffett actually says, well, but you know, if you have a farm and let's say you produce soybeans, you know you can sell those soybeans. You have a real product to sell. So that of course is value. That is an asset. While that is true, however, there could be another farm who actually is selling their soybeans 50% less. All of a sudden yours, you cannot sell them, or you might have to sell them below cost. You're not making any profit. So then the other thing is he invests a lot in stocks, right? And he says cryptocurrency has the problem that it only goes up in value if there is somebody else who wants to pay more for that particular coin. The same is true in stocks. If nobody wants to pay more for a particular stock, that stock would not go up. Sometimes people just believe that the specific company will skyrocket. So they actually will invest a lot of money into it. They will pay a lot of money for that stock, while another company, they might be just as good, the name is not as good, whatever, and it plummets. So it's always just about the demand. No matter if it's cryptocurrency, if it's money, if it's stocks, whatever it is, it's about the demand. Of course, Warren Buffett knows that, no question about it, but I think he kind of should open his eyes a little bit more and see what's going on. How this whole cryptocurrency actually can change how we live with digital money around the world. It will change our lives, I'm sure of that. Because if you think of it, take Bitcoin again for example. If the underlying economics for that particular cryptocurrency, if people wouldn't see any value in it, there would be no price going up. It would just stay the same, it would go down, whatever. But people see there is a value in cryptocurrencies. There's a future in cryptocurrencies, what we can do. And because of that, the value often goes up. It also can go down, but overall it can go up. Because of cryptocurrencies, we now have so many decentralized finance projects. These are projects where just a piece of code, so a smart contract is executed, And that contract allows to create totally new things. For example, yield notes. You can invest in a note, so you give X amount of money into something, and that money is then doing whatever, and you get a daily return on it. And the return is pretty much given, because there are always transactions going on. So there will always be some positive outcome for your daily return. So coming back to Warren Buffett, that he says Bitcoin itself is not producing anything. With one thing I agree is, yes, Bitcoin is already kind of past its bedtime. It is the granddaddy of coins, and it's just not up to par with all the new ones out there. However, it revolutionized the whole Web 3.0 because it got everything decentralized. We don't need a Facebook. We don't need an Amazon any longer, because everybody who is in this is providing a little bit of their power, of their computing power, to make this happen. With that said, Bitcoin is kind of like gold. It is very valuable as it started to help change the world, and it will always be seen as the underlying asset of all other cryptocurrencies. Just go into CoinGecko or LiveCoinWatch, wherever you go, you will always see that in any of those, whatever cryptocurrency you look at, it's always also mentioned what is the Bitcoin value, showing you Bitcoin is the king still, and it always will be. It's like gold is kind of the most valuable metal out there, so is Bitcoin. And with that said, I think Warren Buffett should actually look deeper, maybe not himself, maybe have a team or so, look deeper into what's possible with cryptocurrencies in the future. How it can change the future. How it can change that we might not need any banks any longer. That's it for today. I hope you like this video. If you like it, please hit that like button, maybe the subscribe button. I think next time I will actually bring more again about how to become a millionaire. I just made this video because it kind of caught my eye, let's say. And as always, this is no financial advice. I'm just a guy on the internet. With that said, I say thank you and see you next time. Bye.